Hello, hello. Hi there. Uh, this is Fork Tie, or whatever you want to call me. I'm just want to do a quick little stream here because the Strat League that me and my friends are doing, the SDBL, the Strat Dual Baseball League, our season 3 is about to begin. Our first season was 6 teams, and we just picked different teams that we enjoyed playing with. There was like the '86 Mets and the we had the Reds and the Yankees from different eras, and the years escape me. It's been a long COVID break, and from there we decided to expand to 8 teams and do a draft. And last draft we did 1998, which is a wonderful year for baseball fans getting to watch the home run race and all, ignoring the implications of what went into that. It doesn't really matter at this point. But we had 8 teams for that season, and with this season, the winner of that season gets to choose what season we do the draft from on the following season. And our winner, the Duke Street Kings, chose 1941, which some say is the greatest year of baseball ever. It's a unique year. Ted Williams batted 400. You had DiMaggio's hitting streak. You had a pretty entertaining World Series where it sounds like a wild pitch or a pass ball kind of affected the entire series. And it's fun when you go back in time and read about some of these guys, and you just learn a lot about them and things you didn't know. And 1941 was right before the war, and a lot of the guys, like we have a 25-man active roster and a 40-man extended, and 8 teams that we drafted pretty much everybody. Like it wasn't a lot of, there was maybe like 2 or 3 guys on each team left, something like that. But we got guys here that would have like a great year, and then they went off to war, and somebody like got a manhole dropped on their foot, or they had some injury in a foxhole, or someone took shrapnel and they were never the same player again. 1941, there's a lot of players where they could have had a really successful career in baseball, but when they went off and fought for the United States of America, I mean, I guess that is kind of the ultimate sacrifice, putting your life at risk and your health at risk for I don't know, for what was a pretty important situation overseas. Enough about that, though. 1941. I just wanted to give you guys a heads up. I should be. I'm basically gonna be just streaming my games, and my team is the Wabash Conductors. That is my team, and I'll play the other 7 teams. It's a 42 game season. Play each team 6 times, 3 home, 3 away. And I believe I am going to start my first series this coming Wednesday around 10 o'clock or so Eastern Time. If anybody wants to watch, head to head, super advanced Strat-O-Matic baseball. Just don't want to introduce you to the teams. Like I said, my team is the Wabash Conductors, and I'll show you the draft board, and you can see how the draft went when we did the draft, just to get an idea of what we're looking at. So TG, that's the Trundle Greenmen, and they were the first to draft. If you just kind of take a look at like the first 25, you get an idea. Ted Williams, Bucky Walters, Dolph Camilli, Cliff Harlan, Cliff Melton, Dom DiMaggio. It's a shame that the DiMaggio brothers didn't all play different positions. They were all at center field. You think they'd split that up as kids, because they could play at the same time. Rizzuto, Max Lanier, Medwick, some of these names like that we got to choose from. Pretty amazing. Second is a NYM, that is the New York Marvels. He grabbed Joe in the first. You got Bob Feller, Archie Vaughn, Mel Ott, Kenny Keltner. A lot of really good players on his team. Next, you have RV. That's the Roswell Visitors. He grabbed the best pitcher in the draft. That was Whit Wyatt and Billy Jurges, Vince DiMaggio, Dutch Leonard, Joe Cronin, Danny Litwaller. There's a lot of good nicknames in this draft too. Schoolboy. There's like 10 guys named Lefty. You got a Skeeter. Got a guy named Chubby. A lot of good nicknames. WC. That's me. That's the Wabash Conductors. I grabbed Pete Reiser in the first. Lonnie Frey. I was nervous about taking him, but like there wasn't a lot of good fielding depth at second base, and he was kind of a perfect combination of everything I wanted there. And after if you see in the first round, guy took Lou Boudreau, and then immediately after that he took Bobby Doerr down there at the end. I didn't think I would have much fielding left if I didn't just grab him then. So I grabbed Lonnie Frey there, Stan Hack, Jimmy Fox, who kills left-handed batters, but his fielding at first base is terrible. Enos Slaughter, Eddie Miller. Eddie Miller is another shortstop. He doesn't have much of a bat, but he was a fielding one at short, so I had to take him. And if you can look, when I drafted, I kind of just went through and I grabbed fielders and hitters, and then I worried about pitching. Just because last season I saw Kevin Brown, and David Cone, and Tom Glavine walk in there and get like rocked and give up like 6 runs in the first inning so many times that I just decided, I'm just going to try to hit. I'm just going to try to hit my way out of games. So many times I'd be playing a good game and then I would just lose to the long ball. And I kind of didn't want that to be the tail of my season again. So I looked for more power and more hitting. Kind of downgraded pitching a little bit. So, next up in the draft was the Logan Park Loggers. They were the Logan Park Lightning, but I think there was some kind of Tampa Bay Lightning hatred there, and he decided to switch it up. He got Cecil Travis, Joe Gordon, Al Benton, Tommy Bridges, Tommy Heinrich, Ted Lyons. A lot of good players. There are a lot of good players there. You look down there at the 92nd pick, Johnny Allen. Something we did this season that we didn't do last season, we prorated our players. Batters, we prorated them by 50%, and pitchers by, holy cow, I can't remember, 35%. So it kind of gives around cheat cards. And cheat cards, if you play long enough, those are the cards where a guy has a very small sample size. Say a guy pitched like 10 innings, and he did really good in those 10 innings. You can't have that guy playing every day, simply because he didn't play every day. So Johnny Allen, he played on 2 different teams. He played on Brooklyn and he played on St. Louis, I believe. St. Louis, he was terrible. But Brooklyn, his card was great. The problem with that is that he only played a portion of the season with Brooklyn, so there's a very limited amount of innings that he's allowed to pitch. So that's just you just grab a guy like that and just assume like maybe he'll be a closer. He just comes in on the tight innings there at the end. I'm not sure how he's going to use them, but I imagine with the amount of innings available, that's how he's going to be. I had similar situations with some of my guys, like Hank Greenberg. I drafted him 125. He's just going to be backing up in left field, and he's got very limited amount of at bats as well, because he didn't get that many in 1941. Yeah, so that was me. Then he had Logan Park there, and then the purple, he had the New York Bodega Cats. He started off with Thornton Lee, Johnny Keller, Jim Tobin, got Columbine, Mize, Cookie Lavagetto. He's got some good players. After that, you got the Duke Street Kings. They were the champion last season, and you'll notice he's not last. We kind of do a lottery with our draft, so that the last teams get it to choose where they draft, and the other teams are last in the pecking order. And Duke Street had the last choice, and the only slot left for him was seventh because the team next to him, SWB, the Sherwood Barons, decided they wanted to go eighth because they liked having that back-to-back picks. But Duke Street there, the DSK, they grabbed Elmer Riddle, another excellent pitcher in this draft. He's got tons of innings pitched, but he's allowed to relieve, and he's going to be a problem middle reliever for most of us, I'm assuming. Going to be seeing a lot of him. Luke Appling, Ernie White, Chet Lavs. A lot of talent there. And then you got down at the end, Sherwood Barons. Like I said, he right off the bat, he just went down the middle of the field. Boudreaux, Dorr, Heath, Higbee, Dickey, Bill Dickey, the catcher. I think he's got like a -4 arm. I looked at him like every time it came around to me, I just figured like nobody would get him so early because even though he's got an excellent arm and he is good against right-handed pitchers, his side against lefties, he's very bad, very bad. I thought he would hang around a little longer, but that wasn't the case. Yeah, so that's what our draft looks like there for the most part. Guys down there below. Also, we get to pick what ballparks that we have. Sherwood Barons, they were the first to pick a ballpark, and when you're the first to pick a ballpark, you get to design your own. You get to say like when you're doing the ballpark singles and the weather effects and all that, you can say if you know what the single splits are, what the home run splits are. Last season he had we called it the pizza box. I'm not exactly sure how that happened, but it's called the pizza box or the pie dome is what we called it. The pizza pie, the pie dome, and the pie dome, like any ballpark home run chance was a homer. It was a 20, and it was unrubbable. So if you rolled a diamond, it was instantly out of there. And this time, the pie box became or the pie dome became the pie hole. They called it the pie hole because he just made everything zero. So there's no ballpark singles, no ballpark homers. So I'm guessing he's not really relying on power this season to get him where he needs to go. Duke Street took Shibe Park. Bodega Cats took Sportsman Park. The AL version. There's an AL version and an NL version. That numbers are a little different, so we allowed both to be taken. Logan Park took Ebbets. I took Forbes Field. Roswell Village took Fenway. Polo Grounds belong to the New York Marbles, and then Trundle Greenman took the Sportsman Park NL. And yeah, so Wednesday we're starting up. Let's give you a rundown really quick of my depth chart. I'll start at catcher. Catcher could be looking at Al Lopez. It's gonna be my main guy, and backing him up is Frankie Pitlack. Catchers are just susceptible to injury. They have a higher injury than pretty much any other position. You always find their if I can find it here. Yeah, see like 2-4 ground ball plus injury. 1-4 ground ball plus injury. Usually it'd be like a 1-2 or a 2-2. Catcher injuries are all the way up to 4. So it's always important to have 3 or more catchers on your roster. These are my 2 on the active roster, and then I've got another one on the expanded roster. Mickey Owen. And funny thing about Mickey Owen, I had mentioned earlier that the World Series in 1941, Hugh Casey, the pitcher, was pitching to Mickey was pitching, and Mickey Owen was the catcher. I just so happened to have both players, and that was where the infamous pass ball happened, which allowed a run, which ended up extending the series, which they eventually lost. But Mickey Owen's pass ball rating is 0. So if we wanted to recreate that play, I'm not sure how we're going to do it, just because he simply has 0 in the pass ball. So maybe Hugh Casey's going to throw a wild pitch. But what is Hugh Casey's wild pitch rating? It's got a wild pitch rating of a 2, so it is possible. It is possible to recreate that. And we'll just can't put it on Mickey then, right? Anyway, so those are my catchers. Then at first base, we got Jimmy Fox. He's there for his bat, not his defense. Backing him up is Mickey Vernon. Jimmy Fox to 4E13. Like I can't imagine pulling Jimmy Fox in like the 8th inning for a fielder, but you got to do what you got to do. Then we got Lonnie Frey. Lonnie Frey, he batted. He had over 600 at bats. If he gets injured, he can't be out for more than three days. The rest chart says the injury chart is for games, but for our league we do days, just because we figure, it's only a 42 game season. We want to get the most out of our guys, and we cap it at 10 games as max injury. Last season I had Larry Walker, lost him for 10 games, came back, played for 6, lost him for another 6. Like, he was just always on the shelf. You want your guys, you want to play the game, you want your stars to be stars. So Lonnie Frey, he's going to get a ton of work. I'll show you a third base. Stan Hack's my starter at third base, and then you got Frank Gustine. He plays second and third, so he's kind of backing up Stan Hack and Lonnie Frey. So he's doing double duty if I need him to. And then I got guys to play second and third in the extended roster if it comes to that. I just have to make sure I don't injure 2 second basemen in one game. Shortstop, Eddie Miller. Like I said, I just wanted that one, the shortstop. And then I got Johnny Berardino, who I discovered was in a episode of The Fresh Prince. He played a doctor. He was cameoing as doctor from... I can't remember. He became an actor. He was on a soap opera. St. Elsewhere? I don't know. I'm trying to think of hospital dramas. Quincy? I don't remember. I was too young. I didn't really watch them. I didn't pay attention to hospital dramas until ER. And even then, it was kind of wishy-washy. So that's my infield. I'll move on to my left field. Bob Elliott. Bob Elliott can play anywhere in the outfield, but he's going to be my go-to guy in left field. Hank Greenberg's going to come in to pinch hit if I need him and finish out the game. He still has a decent -1 arm. Not as much range, but if I need the bat, I need the bat. That's my left field. My right field, Pete Reiser. He's going to play pretty much all the freaking time, unless there's some lefty action on the mound. Mike Krivich, he'll be backing up. If you look, like, Pete Reiser against lefties, he's got a 32 chance, 53 if I'm looking at extra bases. Krivich, 46 chance for some action, and 72 in extra bases. It just makes sense if they got a lefty on the mound, Krivich's got to come in. And I'm just going to have to deal with the lesser fielder out there. And I don't know, putting my first round pick on the bench is not something I love doing. And then right field, we got Enos Slaughter, Pete Fox. These are the guys I'm going to in right field. Again, Pete Fox, he can play anywhere. So if I need to move some guys around, that's not a big deal. And then we'll just get a look at my my starting pitchers. Got Sid Hudson, Paul Derringer, Red Ruffing, Fred Fitzsimmons, who I'm going to be able to play him like 40 innings tops. He's probably going to be playing a lot of games where 5 innings in and out. Try to extend him throughout the season and just hope I make the playoffs and get the most out of there. And Rip Sewell, he'll be playing. He'll be my 5th starter, who's probably going to play a lot of middle relief. Probably going to play a lot of middle relief because a couple of these guys, they can pitch on 3 days rest, and I may not need a full 5-man rotation. Plus, this 6 ballpark home run against lefties kind of freaks me out. When I drafted the pitchers, I picked him first, and in hindsight, that was probably silly. But I don't know. I figure he's mine now. Going to make the best of him. Hopefully, he can get the job done. Now, we are looking at my bullpen. And my bullpen, I had to grab a lefty. I just wanted one lefty just to, if I had to play strap ball and get a right-handed guy out of the lineup and switch him up. So I grabbed Al Milnar. There were not a lot of good left-handed pitchers, and there are so many guys that crush lefties. It's just kind of nervous to even like start a lefty or take him. But Milnar, he can start if I need him to in a pinch. I just I'm very nervous to start a lefty, but I got him if I need him. And we got Hugh Casey. Like I said, he's the guy that pitched to Mickey Owen in the World Series. Howie Christ. He can start or relief, but he's going to be playing primary reliever because of the amount of innings I have available for him. And then my favorite, the dynamic duo. One completes the other. I got Jumbo Brown and Tiny Bonham. These are going to be my main bullpen guys. So yeah, so I'm hoping Wednesday night after 10 we're going to start, and this is our Strat League. Most of the guys are cool with me streaming. If they don't want me to, there may be a game missing here or there. I'll just kind of update what happened. And I don't know. It's going to be fun. I look forward to playing these games. It's always a lot of fun, and hoping streaming these maybe give a little bit of a footprint on Twitch to the game of Strat-O-Matic. And once the live stream is done, I'll upload them to YouTube just so they'll be there. So if anybody wants to follow along to a head-to-head Strat game, they can. I see a lot of solo Strat stuff on YouTube, but not much head-to-head. So I'm hoping that it provides a service for people. So, all right, have a good weekend. Have a happy Valentine's Day. Don't neglect your loved ones, and hopefully someone will check in on Wednesday night. All right, have a good night. See ya.